Mark Carlisle here. It's Monday, 9/29, about 11 a.m. The past 3 years, I've been going through some federal crimes in Vernon, and I want to document this for the American public. I'm going to tell you, the American public first, that the D.C. shooter and the woman who died from Connecticut who went after D.C., these people were not paranoid and delusional. They were being attacked with military weapons, police technology. The federal government knowingly, willingly lied to the American public, quote, the FBI, or f.b.i.lies at Washington, D.C. office, that the D.C. shooter was paranoid and delusional. FBI, fuck you. You are fucking nigger lying pieces of shit. You have shit in your teeth and cum on your chin. You're knowingly, willingly lying to the American public about mind control weapons, silent sound system, the Gwen system, subvocal technology, remote viewing, whatever you want to call it. Hear me out, America. This is a police report. I don't know if you're going to get a good view at this, but this is dated March, I believe, 3/26/13. Now think about this. I just want to show you this. Now this is a police report. It says I have technology being utilized. I was compromised in John Kavanaugh's store, who's a private investigator, who knowingly, willingly threatened me repeatedly. And even though I asked Vernon PD to arrest him on multiple occasions, it didn't happen. America, I've got a disturbing story to tell you about mind control, police technology, or military technology, and I've been given death threats not to come forward because I have psychic ability and a brain. I'm not as dumb as the FBI looks. From Kennedy to the present, they knowingly, willingly came in your mouth, and you and I both know it. From Kennedy, first of all, the Secret Service backed off. When you're a bodyguard, you never back off. The pristine bullet on Connolly's gurney. Anyone who shoots knows this is impossible. The president's brain disappearing. Gee whiz. Understand? Cover up? Now, think about all the people who saw what they saw and where they stand today. Now think about, we're going to reel this into the president, because back then, Bush Sr. was covering his ass, and everybody knows it. Now, say, quote, TWA Flight 800, American public, 2 streaks of light went up and hit that plane, and the plane went down. The federal government lied to you about the chem tests on the seats and the missile. The explosives from the U.S. military. It was not a fuel tank. Quote, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting jammed not to come forward. You have to understand the technology being utilized against me. That I go through forced speech. I go through mind control. I can get choked. I get the shit beat out of me, the piss beat out of me. But no one will help me. This is military technology. I had veterans approach me and told me, join us or our military friends or you're dead. I was threatened in front of the Rockville courthouse by an ex-Marine who told me to leave his name out of this, that there's leaks there. This is unacceptable. I have a story to tell for the American public that's going to show death threats, and that I have a bomb in me and I can't get medical attention. Excuse me, this is what I was told. But the thing is, if this was a police officer, would they get medical attention? You have to understand, I have no federal or civil rights in Vernon because of my ability, and I have the dirt from top to bottom. I have the dirt on the federal government, the local police department, the courthouse, and the locals, and I don't really care. I'm not here to fucking destroy you. I'm here just to show that there's some issues, and I'm going to list it in rock solid, crystal clear proof. But we're going to start with the FBI knowingly, willingly lying to the American public, and it's called misprision of a felony. And here's proof from a police report that I'm stating I have technology in my body or I can't get medical attention. Well, if I'm assaulted by a private investigator in his store and given something where I'm knocked unconscious, and I wake up at 3 a.m. and catch someone working on me, it tells you I've been compromised. When you go to the webpage www.notafreemason, and it's called remote viewing, it's a gray page, it clearly lists the technology. Also, Other things happen. You have to understand microchips and irradiation. Your coglia being stimulated and binaural beats. You have to understand, I have a brain and I have this technology mapped out from World War II to the present. And anyone who doesn't understand the technology is uneducated or a dipshit. But it's called mind control. And it started with the CIA in the 60s and MK Ultra. This is why Kennedy was killed. Because he had the dirt on the federal government. Understand? The federal government wants to reduce world population by half. And don't get me wrong, when I'm telling my story, it's going to light everything up crystal clear. I know I put some videos called Corruption in Vernon a couple years ago. Well, I want the people of Vernon to know that I've been given death threats not to come forward. I've been tortured with technology. I've been locked up, and it's called false imprisonment. And I have people who have known me my whole life who are backing me up and saying this is wrong. When I say I have no federal or civil rights in Vernon, it's because I asked the Vernon PD on multiple occasions for help. They lied to me and threatened to me every single chance they got. This is unacceptable. I want help from the state of Connecticut or the federal government, and I want an attorney on my behalf. I'm being railroaded. I've been railroaded for the past 3 years, and I've been tortured every single day, and I get the shit beat out of me electronically every single day. I go through GVS, okay? Now, when you look at the page, www, not a Freemason, or remote viewing, it speaks for itself. My MD denied me help every single visit and knowingly, willingly lied to me and said the technology doesn't exist. Well, when I prove it to you off the internet and in rock-solid documents in black and white, it speaks for itself that someone's lying to someone, and I can't get help. Someone changed all my records at Rockville Hospital, and they said it's the United States federal government. Remember, the FBI knowingly, willingly came in your mouth and lied to you and said these people are paranoid and delusional. I went through disability 6 times. It was always on-the-job injuries from my back, hernia surgeries, or broken bones. It was never once for psych issues. If anyone says I'm psych, they're lying to you, and I can prove it. I've never been married. I never said I do. That shows you I'm not crazy. You know what I'm saying? Ask someone who said it. That takes balls. Now, since the federal government wants to come in your mouth and slap you on the head and say, keep your mouth shut, I want the American public to know that they lied to you, and here's proof from a police report. Look at the D.C. shooter and the FBI thing, the statement on Prison Planet, and about smart meters, ELF, and Nick Begich. Look at CIA technology, and this being utilized on the American public. These people are being tortured, and the FBI is knowingly, willingly committing federal crimes and breaking the USC. You understand? USC? They don't. They're too fucking stupid. I'm so goddamn pissed off I can barely talk. I have no rights in Vernon. I've got citizens being murdered with this technology. When I talk to citizens about this technology, they either end up in the hospital or a convalescent home. And I got names. People should look at stool samples and see how they decompose. They'll realize this is EMF exposure. I have symptoms of EMF exposure on my body, like rashes, not being allowed to sleep. You have to look at the written death threat I have, where I have to smoke pot every day, where I go through pain, and it says, puff, kill you. Now, I know what you're thinking. But you have to understand something. As I come forward, I'm tortured not to come forward. And the people doing this telling me, excuse me, I'm getting choked. They're telling me the only way out of this is a good attorney. Now, if I wasn't going through this, why would I be choked? Why would I have trouble speaking? I'm a 46-year-old man who's telling you it's technology. The sky's blue and pussy's awesome. You understand? I ain't crazy. The government's coming in your mouth and saying, ha ha, what are you going to do about it? Well, have a nice day, you dipshits.